Hello everyone, Lewis Crompton here, and this is not financial advice. Now, you may be watching this video out of fear and wanting to learn what not to do, or you may want to relish in what is an incredibly difficult and stressful year for me, or rather what was. One thing that I want to say right off the bat is that all investment carries risk. One of the things that I'm most grateful for is that this loss didn't break me, it didn't financially ruin me, and I've been able to come back even stronger with some highly important lessons learned. I'm going to share with you some of those lessons learned in this video. So, managing our risk and managing our money as people looking to invest is such an important lesson. And that is what I am madly passionate about teaching every single person that I come into contact with, whether that's through this or through events or whatever it is. Now, let me know in the comments if you feel like you could handle or you could bounce back from a 40k loss in just 1 year. So how did it happen? How did I lose 40k in just 1 year of investing? Now, this came about by two different investments that, well, clearly didn't work out the way that I was anticipating them to, or hoped they would. And I'll start with the first one, which is the lesser of the two losses. Now, I met a man in South Africa. Is this how all bad stories start? Anyway, this man was a very good friend of mine, and we built our relationship, our friendship up over a little bit more than a year, and we even went to a joint friend's wedding in South Africa. It was an absolutely incredible wedding in the South African bush. We got to do a little safari. My friend got married over the most stunning tree. It was a truly beautiful, incredible wedding. Shout out to Daphne. Anyway, my point is that I knew this guy. We had a good friendship. I trusted him, and he later presented me with a business opportunity in a sector that I was well aware of and had really good contacts in that meant we could really make this thing fly. We needed to buy some machinery, some equipment, etc., but we already had orders lined up for our products. And I knew we did because I'd seen the order forms, so it was there in black and white. To get the materials, the right equipment was going to cost us about £10,000, which was where I was going to be putting the money in, and it was a no-brainer for me considering the orders we had were already going to make far more than that 10,000. I'd done my version of due diligence, I'd read over the order forms, checked the price of the equipment, and it all checked out. Long story short, the equipment was never bought, those orders were fake, and I was contacted by another guy who had been sold the same story by this particular individual. We had both been scammed out of money for a fake business with fake orders, etc., etc. Now, my big lesson here was trust people, but don't trust them. Look into every detail, prove their words. Due diligence that I now do is way more extensive and detailed than I did back then. It's shocking to think I didn't even pick up the phone and speak to the person who was supposedly making the orders. If I'd done that, I would have saved myself a lot of money. I'm still fighting to get back money from that scumbag, but I never ever give up. I'm a dog with a bone if you cross me. Now, I know many people who've been scammed out of money, some less, some more than me, and it can happen to anyone. It makes you feel stupid, awful, and all the things you really don't deserve to feel. The people who are willing to do that to others are the ones who should be feeling terrible. I don't know if I believe in karma, but I hope that they do have some form of justice brought to them in some form of way. Now, the second loss that happened that year was a property deal that went south. Hey, it happens. But genuinely, it was the biggest stress of my life. This is partly due to timing, partly due to me not getting as involved as I should have done earlier on in the process. So I bought this property with another friend. Anyone spotting a theme here? And we were going to be flipping the property. They were supposed to manage the build, and I was meant to just be the money provider. So we got the property on a bridge, and works were expected to take just 6 months. Unfortunately, we bought the property 1 week before COVID really hit and we went into a lockdown. Absolute nightmare. Talk about timing. Materials became scarce, works were slow, and my business partner on the deal was really struggling with their mental health, so went MIA on a number of occasions and didn't do as good a job as they could have done on managing the builder because of everything that was going on for them. Now, the builder ran out of plaster, everyone did, and couldn't get hold of any. Bearing in mind the property was costing me £2,000 per month just to hold, buy the bloody plaster. I lost my stuff on it, my crap, there we go. Now, some people think that entrepreneurs, and yet they can not even figure out the simple decision, money, maths, everything like that, that not buying that plaster was costing us more money on the back end. Now, we finally finished it and we had a buyer. The buyer then pulled out due to a loss of job, COVID. We found another buyer. The week of completion, they decided they wanted an extra 10k off the purchase price. We were then delayed on completing, meaning we went over the bridging repayment terms by about 10 days, and we were fined an additional £7,000 for that 10 days. What should have been a 30k profit property became a 30k loss property. Now, my major lessons learned on that one was to trust my own gut when it comes to the numbers. I didn't have confidence in the end value of the property that my business partner quoted. Turns out I was correct. Other lessons learned. Sometimes crap happens. That is out of your control. You just have to ride with it. If the property had been my only income stream, then that would have destroyed me. But thankfully, it wasn't. Because I have multiple streams of income, I make consistent profit trading Forex each month, I was fine. I was able to weather that storm. But I won't lie, these issues caused me many sleepless nights. I cried many days as I tried to solve the problems that would come up over and over, and every option was a terrible option. Every option left me digging a deeper hole. The best option in the end was to agree to sell it at such a big loss. I called my dad and cried, telling him how much of a failure I felt. But under that pressure, under all of that, I gained such knowledge and such experience and realized how much strength that I had. And these experiences have made me a better investor. Have you had any similar experiences? Could you handle that big a loss in 1 year? Let me know in the comments. And make sure that you subscribe to this channel for more honest content. Like this video, share this video. My name is Lewis, and this is not financial advice.